Winter is gone now. We had a wonderful white winter. In our house, where we just moved in, we felt like we were living right in nature, seeing the seasonal change daily. We had gone fully into winter hibernation, and so did our garden. But now in spring, we started this very big project, and we want to take you with us. This video will be the first part of a series about turning this garden into our little paradise. We started early this year in February. There was a lot of tidying up to do, but we wanted to let the tiniest wildlife rest as much as possible, so we went for a slower pace. We'll have a vegetable garden here, a berry garden, and overall a lot of medicinal herbs, as well as native flowers. I also hope to be able to revive my yet empty beehives this year again too. So we started with a project that fits to tidying up the garden, a dead wood hedge. One tree has been fallen down in winter, some bushes would have to leave for the new beds, and the fruit trees needed a cut. We knew we would have a lot of material to build this hedge, and as we wanted to fill it while working in the garden, this was our first project that had to be ready. The flamed wood posts formed the framework for the hedge. The first one was the most discussed one to go into the ground, of course. We had set up small gardens in the past, but we had never made these major changes in a garden. So we not only behave like beginners, we are beginners, curious to learn during the process. Guess which piece of wood was the first to go into the hedge? The hammer stick. Until my husband fixed it with a new stick, we cut the branches in our garden into fitting pieces for the dead wood hedge. Our cherry tree had lost a big branch due to the heavy snow load in winter too. And our Christmas tree went into the hedge as well. So the first and biggest project was to gather all branches and twigs we found in the garden and cut them into straight and long branches. It was a mess in this state, with several piles of wood all over the place. We wanted this deadwood hedge for several reasons. It's an easy possibility to keep and use our garden material for ourselves. Otherwise, it would have been truckloads we would have had to bring away with only our car. This hedge also closes the holes that the kids could have used to sneak onto the cow fields in summer. Sure, we left one hole under the fence for us and them to go on the field. The farmer was already laughing at me for this idea, as he said we couldn't prevent the kids to go on the fields anyway. But it's nice to not need to pay attention to so many spots in our garden for the baby to just crawl under the fence and leave. But the best reason for this deadwood hedge is still the ecological benefit it brings. Our local wood will be home to some insects and small animals, as well as, I really hope for this, fungi. I'm curious what we'll see happening there in the next few years. Okay, so you've probably noticed that I had just said that these are my beehives. I think I need to talk about a very important thing about our house purchase, which I haven't told you yet. This has been my parents' house before we bought it. So last year my parents moved out and we moved in, which was a good thing for all of us. And yes, this means that this is the house I grew up in. Which also explains why the farmer knew we couldn't keep the kids from running on the fields, because it was me and his daughters that did the same back in the 90s. We will now see our kids grow up in the surrounding, watching the cows and horses grazing on the fields, and running through the village where we've been welcomed back very warm-hearted last year. It's very nice to already know most of the people that live here, and my husband feels home here now too, also finding it nice that we already know some of the friendly people in the village. It's a very small village, maybe about 150 inhabitants or so, but lots of horses and about 300 cows, I think. Rural living at its best. I'm so looking forward to the cows coming to this fence to say hello. I love cows. Until then the field stays empty, so no worries. It was one of our old whitethorns that had fallen over last winter. This has probably happened due to some heavy snow load and the strong winds we have here. Unfortunately, it had grown through the farmer's fence in the past and we had to cut it down completely to take it out of it. Usually whitethorns aren't that big in people's homes' gardens, I think. But this one had never been cut and it was huge. It's been a beautiful tree, but it was also hard work to take it apart. We were super grateful that we had 2 friends over to help us with that. It would have taken us days to do what we did of this one day. So nice. When branches of a treetop fall down, or when a whole tree lies on the ground, you can look at the lichens and fungi that live up there. So cool. I even found a little witch's butter fungus. Look, even with a tiny one popping through the bark further down too. Let's see if it can settle in the deadwood hedge. I hope so. This is what we've been taken down from the whitethorn on this day, and the trunk is still standing. The thorns were huge and the garden was a no barefoot zone because of it, but I'm happy that this little one was the only thorn that made it through the working gloves. What a day. I was watching the squirrel when I noticed something different. Did you see that? There was a flying ermine. This day I brushed my hair standing on a chair, trying to see it again from a higher perspective. And it indeed came back. Look, oh my gosh, I've never seen an ermine in its winter coat. What a rare sight. And it ran through our garden for quite a while. It didn't see me behind the window, so I had time enough to enjoy this view as it came really close. This is why you should always leave some messy places in the garden. That's where these guys find a home. Winter said goodbye and spring slowly looked around the corner. The snowdrops popped out of the ground and turned it white again. It's like a mix between winter and spring, being white, but not from snow, but from the new life, so to speak. The safest sign that spring is around the corner are the cranes flying north. They're living far up north in Scandinavia in summer, so they only pass our area flying above our heads. On sunny and warm days, big groups of them are visible in the sky. Here you can see the last murmurations of the winter starlings dancing their show in front of a big line of cranes coming towards us. The starlings only show off their formations in winter, so this was soon to be over. A moment that gave me chills while watching it. The hares also ran across the fields frequently. Watching nature is great fun in spring, as you can see things changing daily. Animal life is waking up, and the plants and trees slowly walk their path to bloom in the upcoming season too. At the end of March, a super special sky phenomenon occurred in the sky. A partial solar eclipse. It was already 10 minutes going when a friend sent me a picture of it, only typing the word "now", when I ran outside with a camera to capture it. And geez, what pictures did I get! In the bare sky, the partial eclipse was only visible in the sun's reflection, but the clouds were the unpaid actors here, as the camera wouldn't have been able to get it without them. How amazing was that? I'm thankful my friend had thought of me, as I didn't have a clue. A special intermezzo of the day was that. We have a very big oak tree in our garden, and something special happened this winter. The magpie's nest that was in there for several years fell down, which means that the magpie couple that lives in our garden had to make a new nest. Right in the same winter we moved in here. I wonder how many years it will last now. They were super busy, And it was quite cute to watch them handling the sticks through the branches, squeezing and pushing them in the right place. It took them weeks to finish it off, but look, it looks great now. We continued working on the deadwood hedge and gathered more and more sticks and branches we found in the garden. The first bushes had started to bloom when the grass was still covered in branches. We knew that we couldn't get things done in only a couple of days, and that's okay. With 2 kids around and our daily life and needs needing to be met too, all our projects that we work on simultaneously are only finished weeks or months after we start them. But we got used to that and are even planning with this kind of time schedule. But we made some progress anyway, and it looks quite nice. The hedge will also be a windshield, so we want to pack it very tight with sticks and branches. And this takes a while, so it will be finished over 1 or 2 years, I think. It's been some weeks of good weather where we had been working a lot, but there were also slower days too. Misty mornings are always special. The world that is far away vanishes completely. You can only see the closest bits. I must say that this grey now in spring feels a bit heavier than in autumn. This isn't too bad as the colors of spring are still growing, and mist will always stay magical to me. And the sun gets stronger every day, so those are short events anyway. The hares are running around every day now, and the red kite will still hunt for them as soon as the sun comes out. Our cats enjoyed the sun on their fur as well, and so did we. In the last few days the weather was awesome and we've been outside very much, and we've been preparing this future vegetable bed, and in beforehand it has been completely grown over by the lesser celandine. It's the green herb with those yellow tiny flowers, and it's edible until these flowers pop up, and we've been eating a lot, yeah, but we couldn't eat all of it. So yeah, we took all that weed out, so to say, and now it's time for making it even, and that's what we did, what I did yesterday or the day before yesterday, I don't know. So yeah, it's ready to be prepared, and what comes next is we're gonna put sand all over and then cardboard, and then we're gonna make those raised beds. I think we're gonna make them like 1/2 meter high, and we want to make how do you say that, a fence around the bed from those willow branches. That's the plan. I hope it works out. So what I first did this morning before we can go on with the sand and the cardboard, I put some stones in front of the deadwood hedge, because the garden is kind of eroding towards the field, so there's erosion going on, and you can see that the garden is like maybe 1/2 meter higher than the field, and yeah. Hi. Hey, who are you? There was just a bird in the hedge. Oh, lovely. He's gone now. Or she. Where was I? I don't know. Sorry. But what I wanted to do with these stones is prevent the garden from eroding. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean, from getting washed away. Look who visited us here. If you follow me on Instagram, you might know that we sometimes get geese eggs from a neighbor. Those are the 2 girls who make them. Don't worry, they're alright. Panda didn't dare to approach them. I'm sitting here under our apple tree, and both the apple tree and our cherry tree, they have a sickness. It's a fungus, and they make that the fruits won't ripe very good. And I've heard twice, like a person told me, and I've read it somewhere, that horseradish, when you plant it under the tree, it will help the tree be resilient against that fungus. And so I got this horseradish root. It was dried, so it had to be soaked in water for a couple of hours. And I love horseradish. I wanted to have it anyway, and it's perfect that you can just plant it under the tree to help the tree. And yeah, I'll just put it here into the soil. I dug out some of these snowdrops, and beforehand we have a lot of them. So it's fine when I just dig them out. Yeah, and I'll just put some soil over it. Here you go. Some more. Some snowdrops out. Out, out, out. Some roots out as well. That was the first one. Getting some water. Doop doop. And it's ready to grow. I hope it's gonna be fine. It's gonna make these big green leaves, and I think both the leaves as well as the roots are edible. It takes some time until the roots can be dug out to be eaten. It's perfect for when you make it small and mix it with honey, and then you can eat a spoonful a day. It's kind of a natural antibiotic. This is gonna be perfect for winter, and I'm so looking forward to it. And when it also helps the tree, how can it be better? So cool. Finally, our cat Ronja dared to go outside, sniffing a bit of spring and a lot of the outside world. She slept very well and deep these days. In the past few years, I've noticed that March has these special light during sunrise and sunset. The whole world is turning pink or orange, with a huge ball of light rising in the east or setting in the west. From our dinner table, we can not only see this little spruce forest being higher than its surrounding, but also the moon setting in the southwest. In the weeks of the waning moon, it vanishes in daylight before it sets on the horizon. Can you still spot the moon here? My favorite moon phase is the crescent moon though. To spot this absolute thin line on the night sky feels amazing after not seeing it for a while, as I don't get up early enough to spot the crescent waning moon in the morning. This one is mine, and I love to watch it setting towards the trees every day from the first sight on. Stay tuned and subscribe to join us while we work on all of our projects in our garden this year. We are looking forward to how it turns out. Thank you for watching.